I don't believe that there are any shortcuts in life, but there's certainly quicker ways to get to where you want to get to. I'm one of those people who I really believe in the laws of the universe. I believe that the laws of the universe are very precise. I believe that they are perfect in their nature. More importantly, I believe that they are guaranteed to pass over to you what they've promised. And therefore, I don't believe in violating any of the laws. There are various laws that we have to understand. If we want to live well, if we want to live abundantly, if we want to live in such a way that we look back and we say we had an exceptional journey, we have to understand the laws, but also we have to abide by the laws. And one of such laws is the law of sowing and reaping. Some people call it the law of cause and effect. Some refer to it as the law of iron destiny. And it doesn't really matter what term you use or what you call it. What I've come to the understanding is simply that the law of cause and effect simply means that what you put out is what you're going to get back. In a very simple way, it means that if you're not happy with the results you're getting in life, then there's only one place to look at, and that is to look towards what you're giving, because to be someone, you must first do. So do, be, have kind of come to work together. A great author once said that to have something, you've got to become someone. But to become someone, you've got to do something. And that is the principle that I want to talk to you about today. I'm going to be focusing on one area in terms of all those categories I described earlier on. But the principles can be applied to any area of life. They might need subtle variations and changes, but the principles can be adjusted. They're fundamental principles. And the reason is simply because they're based on universal laws. Now, the law of cause and effect is so simple, but it's so powerful. It simply says that what you sow, you will reap. And what most people fail to understand, particularly for those who have a dream, is most people fail to understand that an idea, a dream, a thought, a feeling, whatever you might have in your mind, whatever that burning passion might be, is no different from a physical seed. And just like the farmer takes a physical seed and puts the seed in the ground, you have to take that idea, you have to take that dream, you have to take that burning desire, and also put it in the soil of your mind. Now, every farmer understands seasons. There is a season for sowing and there's a season for reaping. And every farmer will tell you this: you cannot do both reaping and sowing at the same time, and you cannot do it in the same season. You have to sow, and in between sowing and reaping is what I call the weights. Now, this is where many of us get stuck, and I used to be in that category. I still am in that category, because there are some times when I sow and I sow and I sow, but I can't see the reward. Now, if you've ever been in that position, then you probably relate to the frustration that you might feel. I was thinking about it a few days ago, and I've been working on something that I consider to be perhaps really significant in helping me create another level of breakthrough. Every day we have to grow. And for you to sit back and say that you're satisfied with life the way it is simply a reflection of the fact that you perhaps don't understand the laws of the universe. And one of the laws of the universe simply states that you're either growing or you're dying. Nothing stays the same. You must be moving forward or you're moving backwards. Now, some people will move forward a little bit and move back. Some people will move back a little bit and move forward. But nothing stays the same. So I have something I've been working on for a while. And a few days ago, I really fell on some difficult, emotional, experience. I started thinking about all of the sowing that I was doing, and I was comparing it against what I was reaping. And it felt as though it was slightly out of proportion. It felt as though I was sowing too much, and I couldn't see the rewards. I couldn't see the harvest for all of my hard work and labor. And then I slowly started to search within. And I was asking myself questions such as, perhaps should I just let it go? Should I try something different? Is the timing wrong? Is something not working? And as I was searching my heart to find out a way, I suddenly remembered the universal laws, the law of sowing and reaping. There's a season to sow and there is a season to reap. You cannot do both activities in one season. You cannot do both activities at the same time. The beauty of the law of sowing and reaping is that the universe controls the harvest. We control the sowing. Now, the reason I'm explaining this is because after a few minutes of pondering on all of this, I suddenly realized that my responsibility is simply to sow. The seasons will come. All I have to do is keep sowing. The seasons will come. And more importantly, what I do in between the seasons will determine the quantity of harvest I get. Now, if I sow, I must reap. However, what I do in between both seasons determines the quantity and the quality of my harvest. Now, what is wait? Wait doesn't really mean sit there and do nothing. Wait is simply a description to say you must continue to increase your wisdom. The more you increase your wisdom based on what you've sown, based on what you want to get, the more you can, what we say, course correct. Now, what does course correct mean in terms of a farmer's vocabulary? It means you must look for the weeds. You must pull out all the weeds. It means you must water the plant. It means you must nurture. It means you must manage. And more importantly, it means you must protect. What are you protecting? You're protecting people. You're protecting those who could come and steal your seed. So you see, all of us, we are natural farmers, every one of us. You either sow a thought, you sow a feeling, you sow an action. But every one of us is a farmer. And you have to understand the power of the gift that you have, the ability to sow. And so what I'm trying to say here as I conclude this session is to say, whatever you're going through, whatever you've been going through, you may feel as though there are no rewards for your labor. There's something I can promise you, and I mentioned this at the start. What I can promise you is this: the laws of the universe are perfect. The laws of the universe are precise. And the laws of the universe guarantee the promise. For you to get the promise, you must pay the price. The price must be paid in full. The price must be paid in advance. The price is also due every day. This is sowing. If you sow long enough and hard enough, and then if you wait patiently with expectation, belief, faith, persistence, and even more importantly, if you wait with action, you must receive a harvest. It's a law of life. So whether you're in a relationship where you feel as though you're doing the best you can, this is where I want to just perhaps emphasize on a few things. You know, whether you're in a relationship, you might be sowing. You might be sowing love to someone or some people, and you do not see the harvest. In a relationship, you might be sowing through a business. You might be sowing to the company. You've been working really hard and you've not seen a harvest. I think this is the best bit of advice I can give in relation to sowing and reaping. Unlike a soil where the harvest comes from the soil where the seed is planted, we as human beings, because our ideas and our dreams and our feelings and our actions and our thoughts represent seed, and the universal laws that work for natural seeds also work for the seeds that cannot be seen with the natural eyes, which is our ideas. We are still governed by the same law. However, unlike natural seeds, the soil that we sow in is not always the soil that we reap from. And I think this has been one of the most significant transformations in my life, when I realized that the soil that I sow good seed in is not the soil that I might reap from. I'll give you a good example of this. You've heard the natural saying, you've heard what they call the golden rule. Do unto others as you would wish or as you would that they do unto you. There's another law. It's not quite a law per se, but it is another scripture that says, what you make happen for other people, what you do for other people, if it's good, the same and more will be done for you. And here is the point. In my case, I was working on an idea to create value for people. I was trying to solve problems for people. But I was expecting a reward, or I was expecting a harvest from this soil. And the best transformation, both in terms of intellectual peace of mind, but also physical, emotional, was when I realized that my responsibility is to sow good and leave it to the universe to decide where the harvest comes from. Some people sometimes talk about luck. Say you're lucky. Have you ever been in a situation where something happened and you just couldn't explain? You received some good fortune, you received some favor, you received something that you couldn't really say you had perhaps qualified for that particular level of, you might say, favor at that time. In many cases, it's often a result of the seeds you had sown so many times, so many days, so many months, so many years in the past. So let me conclude by saying this to you. Understand that the laws of the universe always work. The laws of the universe are perfect. The promise is guaranteed. All you have to do is pay the price. As you pay the price, what you will find is that the timing of the harvest is not dictated by you. The timing of the harvest is dictated by the universe. You get to decide what you do in the present, which is to sow, but also you get to decide what you do in between both seasons, which is have faith, have belief, have expectation, take massive action, protect what you've sown, protect, nurture, cater for the seeds that you've sown. In so many ways, start acting like the person you want to become. in due course, in due time, the harvest will come. Now, here is a closing comment. You may have heard this before. The harvest is plenty, but the workmen are few. What does that mean? It simply means that many people, and I used to be in the same position, we sow a seed, but because we don't understand the laws of the universe, we stand back and we say, where is the seed? Where is the harvest? We stare, we look, where is the harvest? We get angry. We say, we can't take this. We go to another soil. Someone says, well, the grass is greener on the other side. We walk away. We go to the next place, we sow. We wait. It doesn't come out. We dig it up. We look, the seed is still there. We put it back, we sow, we wait. It doesn't come up. We walk away, we find another ground. You see, there's something called the Chinese bamboo tree, if you've ever heard of it before. It's a really unique tree. You plant the Chinese bamboo tree as a seed. You nurture, you protect, you cater for it. For 4 years, it doesn't grow. 4 years, it doesn't grow. Most people give up after 4 years. However, in the fifth year, within 5 weeks, the tree grows by more than 90 feet tall. Now, if you were standing in front of the tree whilst it started to grow, you could literally see it grow before your eyes. That's how quick it grows. Now, the question is, most people fail to understand, does the Chinese bamboo tree grow in 5 years, or does it grow in 5 weeks? Now, you might think, and you might say, like I did, out of ignorance, I said 5 weeks. However, that 5 weeks was only possible because you kept that seed in the ground for 4 years, and you nurtured, you protected, you looked after the seed. If you had taken out that seed at year 4, you wouldn't have had the tree. In other words, you've got to have patience. Sow your seed, do your good work, and believe that things will work out in the long run. I wish you the best.